There is always someone ahead of you, someone richer, someone more attractive, someone more successful, someone seemingly happier, someone who appears to have figured life out. And if you spend enough time looking, you will always find another reason to feel behind. That is the trap of comparison. It promises motivation, but often delivers suffering. A promotion becomes less meaningful because someone else achieved more. A beautiful moment becomes less enjoyable because someone else's life looks better. Your progress becomes invisible because your attention is fixed on another person's journey. And slowly, gratitude disappears, presence disappears, peace disappears. Buddhism teaches that suffering often begins when the mind stops experiencing life directly and starts measuring it constantly. Tonight, I want to explore why human beings compare themselves to others through Buddhist wisdom, mindfulness, and modern psychology. Because perhaps the life you are searching for is hidden beneath the comparisons you refuse to let go of. You may know this feeling. You open social media for a few minutes, and somehow you leave feeling worse about your own life. Someone bought a house. Someone got married. Someone started a business. Someone is traveling. Someone looks happier, more confident, more successful, and suddenly your attention shifts away from your own life entirely. The mind begins calculating, comparing, evaluating, judging. Why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Why does everyone else seem ahead? Psychology explains that comparison is a natural human tendency. We evaluate ourselves partly through observing others, but modern life has amplified this beyond anything previous generations experienced. Today, people compare themselves not to a few individuals, but to thousands every day, and the result is often chronic dissatisfaction. But what if comparison is not showing you reality? What if it is showing you a distorted version of it? Buddhism teaches that suffering often arises from illusion, and comparison is filled with illusion. Because when you compare, you rarely compare whole lives. You compare your private struggles to someone else's public highlights. You compare your uncertainty to their confidence, your behind-the-scenes reality to their carefully edited presentation. And of course you feel inadequate. The comparison was never fair. Awareness changes this. Awareness reminds you every person is carrying burdens you cannot see. Every person is facing struggles you do not know about. Every life contains complexity, not just the parts visible from the outside. Here is the contradiction many people live with. They want inner peace while constantly measuring themselves against other people. They want self-acceptance while continuously focusing on what they lack. They want confidence while allowing strangers to determine how successful they feel. This creates endless suffering because comparison has no finish line. No matter how much you achieve, there will always be someone ahead in some category, more successful, more talented, more attractive, more accomplished. The mind keeps moving the target. Buddhism teaches that craving operates this way. Satisfaction always remains somewhere else, somewhere further away, somewhere in the future. And because of that, the present moment is never enough.
But something changes when you stop treating life as a competition. You begin noticing your own journey again, your own growth, your own lessons, your own pace. The energy previously spent comparing becomes available for living. Buddhism teaches that peace emerges when awareness returns to reality, not imagined standards, not idealized lives, not endless measurement. Reality, this moment, this breath, this life. And when that happens, gratitude becomes possible again, because now attention is no longer trapped in what others have. It can finally appreciate what is already here. There is a Buddhist story about a man carrying 2 buckets. One bucket holds everything he has. The other holds everything he believes he lacks. Every day he stares at the second bucket, the empty one. He becomes frustrated, dissatisfied, miserable, completely forgetting the bucket already full. Human beings often live this way psychologically. The mind becomes obsessed with absence, what is missing, what has not happened yet, what others possess. Psychology calls this upward comparison, comparing yourself to people who appear better off. While this can occasionally inspire growth, excessive upward comparison is strongly associated with anxiety, low self-esteem, and dissatisfaction. Buddhism recognized this suffering long before modern psychology. The mind that constantly seeks elsewhere rarely experiences contentment here.
Maybe comparison is not actually about other people. Maybe it is about your relationship with yourself. Because when self-worth is unstable, comparison becomes irresistible. Never before in human history have people been exposed to so many curated lives. Every scroll presents another opportunity to feel inadequate, another achievement, another success story, another milestone, another highlight reel. But social media rarely shows loneliness, self-doubt, failure, anxiety, uncertainty. The difficult parts remain hidden, which creates a dangerous illusion. Everyone appears to be thriving, except you. Buddhism teaches that illusion becomes suffering when mistaken for reality. And perhaps one of the greatest illusions of modern life is believing that everyone else has figured things out. One reason comparison creates pain is because people compare completely different journeys, different childhoods, different opportunities, different struggles, different personalities, different circumstances. Yet the mind acts as if every life should unfold according to the same timeline. Buddhism teaches that every being follows a unique path, which means comparison often ignores reality completely. The flower does not compare itself to the tree. The tree does not compare itself to the river. Each grows according to its own nature. Human beings suffer because they forget this.
One of the most powerful antidotes to comparison is gratitude. Not forced positivity, not pretending everything is perfect, but genuine appreciation. Appreciation interrupts scarcity. It shifts attention from what is missing to what is present. Psychology shows that gratitude improves emotional well-being because it changes where attention rests. Buddhism teaches something similar. Peace grows where awareness rests.
If awareness constantly focuses on lack, suffering grows. If awareness notices what already exists, contentment becomes possible. Maybe the reason comparison feels so painful is because it turns another person's success into evidence of your own inadequacy. But that was never true. Another person's journey does not diminish yours. Another person's achievement does not erase your progress. Another person's life does not determine your worth. Buddhism reminds us, suffering grows when the mind abandons the present moment, searching for something else, someone else, somewhere else, some future version of life. But peace begins here, with your own path, your own growth, your own experience. Not because your life is perfect, but because it is yours. And perhaps the moment you stop comparing, you finally begin living. If this conversation resonated with you, tell us in the comments, what is one comparison you are ready to let go of? And how would your life feel if you measured your progress only against who you were yesterday?